If you are a keen follower of the politics of the day, then you'd agree with me that the trending news right now is that of Fred Matiang'i starting his tour of the Kisii and Nyamira region today. Yeah, so the main talking point of Matiang'i's first day in Kisii and Nyamira is the number of people that attended his functions. Now, you see, Fred Matiang'i has been in the mix of the opposition group that comprises of Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, Martha Karua, Mukisa Kitui, and the likes. And many Kenyans opined or said that that opposition team did not look scary at all. It did not look like a team that could beat President William Ruto. And one of the reasons why most people said that is because it's a team that is regarded mostly as a boardroom opposition. You see, Kenyans are saying that if anyone is to be serious about beating President William Ruto, then they have to be seen on the ground, hammering the ground. But we've seen a situation where the opposition of the day, that is the team led by Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, and folks like Jeremiah Kioni, always giving press statements and not really going out there to campaign against the government of the day or to campaign against William Ruto. And so Kenyans said that if that will be the norm, or if that will continue, then there was really no need for people to go to this election. That is why what happened today in Kisii and Nyamira has got people talking. You see, unlike all other opposition leaders, Fred Matiang'i today has showed up in his backyard, his region, Kisii, Nyamira, and has got quite the reception. He was accompanied by Kisii Governor Simba Arati, who blessed him. Simba Arati in his speech told Fred Matiang'i to preach his message to other parts of the country as well, to go to Rift Valley, go to the coast, and seek out alliances, speak to the opposition, and speak to William Ruto as well. And so it seemed like the larger Kisii region, or the Abagusi community, was, or rather endorsed Fred Matiang'i to be their flag bearer. And now, I know that the question that you have is now, where does this leave Chief Justice Maraga? That is also a question that I have myself, because we know that we are already aware of two divides. That is the divide that has President William Ruto and Raila Odinga, and the other divide that has the opposition members, that includes Rigathi Gachagua and so on. Then there are two individuals also who are in the race for the presidency. That is Senator Okia Omtata Okoiti and Justice David Kenani Maraga. Now, these two seem to be pushed by same individuals, and we have not seen them going to the ground to hammer their message home. Now, let's come back to Fred Matiang'i. If you asked me if I thought or if I think that Fred Matiang'i can actually become the President of Republic of Kenya, I'd tell you that that is a possibility. Under the sun, time and chance happens to all men. And so I believe that if Fred Matiang'i has the right machines around him, has the right form of support, and gives the right level of energy into the campaigns, he might as well topple the president. The only condition that Fred Matiang'i will have to meet is he has to unite the opposition. He has to go to the team of Okia or Mtata, convince them to see things his way. He has to go to the side of Justice David Maraga, convince him to see things his way as a tribesman and as someone who seeks change for Kenya. And he also has to convince the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, George Natembea, and so on to back his bid. And so if we could have a united opposition on the other side with a single candidate that they are rallying behind and everyone is hammering at their region, hammering support for them and hammering the president of the day, then for sure we can have President William Ruto being given a run for his own money. And again, one thing that Fred Matiang'i has done well and that I have to point out is that he has started with Kisii, his home. You see, ideally we say that we are tribeless, we are partyless and all the less catchphrases. But the reality on the ground is that all politics is local. And so it means that as a politician in Kenya, if you want to win a race, then you have to have a strong backing from your home background. Then you start politicking from there. And so today the message out there is that the Kisii or the Abagusi have endorsed Fred Okego Matiang'i to speak for them and to seek the seat of the presidency, and that they'll back him up. And that is good for him, because when he comes to the table, he comes as a big man. Matiang'i can now negotiate to be a flag bearer, or he can negotiate to be a deputy president on a ticket, and no one will ask him what he's bringing to the table, because we have seen it. He has the votes, and so we wait to see how this thing will unfold. Will he have the vigor to continue? One thing, however, that I have to point out that Fred Matiang'i should work on is the aspect of messaging. You realize that Matiang'i today was in Kisii, but we only have pictures of how the turnout was. We only have clips of the likes of Onyonka speaking and the likes of Simba Arati speaking. But there's little to be said about what Fred Matiang'i said in that particular tour. It means that there's a gap that needs to be filled. Fred Matiang'i needs to get a message that he will run with throughout the country. He has to get a mantra. He has to get an us against them line that he'll use to whip the emotions of the nation, to whip the votes in other regions. Otherwise, that was well executed, and I believe Fred Matiang'i will be a force to reckon with in